Speaking of sound, music, and other things, one of the big superstars of the world, Lil Pump.
Gazi Garcia, aka Lil Pump, born August 17th, 2000. The way I started to look at hip-hop is like this. There's many different layers to the musical genre that make up its whole, and no part of it is more important than the other. Each time it changes represents a new layer added to its cake, if you will, that changes flavor as it goes in order to keep up with the taste buds of music. In other words, to incorporate all, from the young to old and all walks of life. Like building anything requiring multiple materials, something has to be added first and something has to be added last. Where the confusion comes in hip-hop is when people start to think the layer added to appease their taste buds is somehow more important than the one that came after that did the same for a younger or another person. It's not more important, it just came before. So you could have a Grandmaster Flash, a KRS-One, then a Nas, a Lil Wayne, a Future, Drake, Chief Keef, Migos, 21 Savage, NBA Youngboy, or a Lil Pump. When the DJ Kool Hercs and Africa Bambaata's laid the groundwork, they didn't think an artist like Lil Pump would eventually be their successor, and that's the beauty of hip-hop. With that said, I may have went a little hard on Vanilla Ice, and a Lil Pump is no different. His story is a great example of how all the elements needed to have success, specifically in hip-hop, came together at the perfect time. Things like youth, look, cadence, personality, and style of your music. In 2017, the layer of mumble rap was officially added, and Lil Pump, like it or not, was a keystone piece to its addition. He encompassed the youth at the time in America, which eventually spread to the world. The drugged out, long-haired, preferably colored, too high to speak clear or give a shit phase of party all the time, childhood is never over, and no law matters the youth of the time went through. There's been a lot of losses because of the behavior of this phase, but the ones that lasted can boast forever that this was their time and it just is what it is. Old heads, let it be. One thing about these new layers is that they come and go quicker than ever. Some artists from it have a flavor that lasts into the new one and some do not. Unfortunately for the masses, Lil Pump's flavor did not. Not entirely because of his music, because some of it still reaches its target and even I enjoy some of his songs. D-Rose still goes hard and is an instant headbanger for me, along with me enjoying the Lil Pump Kanye West cut I Love It. More than his songs, it was for these reasons he quote-unquote fell off and his growth was stunted. Let's talk about it. It's your boy Jay-Z, Stunted Growth Music. Lil Pump is a Miami, Florida native that literally blew up overnight in the perfect microwavable times of music. Fellow rapper Smokepurpp produced a song and asked Pump to randomly freestyle to it, and little that they both knew, the freestyle was fire. It touched every base with the youth and they embraced it. It was simple, new, careless, and of course, most importantly, the beat knocked. He placed it on Soundcloud, which was the all-important vehicle of that era of new artists, and it blew up. He began releasing more tracks and they all had similar millions of views success. Lil Pump was officially born. There's not stories of him selling crack to pay for studio time or secret meetings on ferries about his future, slinging CDs out his trunk or pulling up to famous rappers to freestyle for them. It was simply put it online, and if it hit, it hits. Pump hit, and sooner than expected, he was headlining rap tours for the voice of mumble rap, Adam 22 and Rolling Stone. Stunt number 1, the dull old toy. Use those adjectives in the opposite form and you have exactly why Lil Pump found success. He was a shiny new toy for hip-hop, not to mention young enough to get certain passes for being things like ignorant and reckless with his life. But at some point, the shine to him became dull and music listeners moved on to something different. But back in 2016 to 2018, Lil Pump could not miss. The mumble rap lit generation needed him and his energy. Yeah, I came in with the sauce, ooh, yeah, I came in with the sauce, yeah, bitch, I flex Rick Ross, ayy, ooh, yeah, ayy, was the new and not so improved ad-libs of that generation of rap, placed perfectly between half bars like catching your flow in a freestyle that was easy and fun for listeners to flow along with. By the beginning of 2017, Lil Pump was officially lit behind Soundcloud singles like D-Rose and Boss that were perfectly timed with video directors like Lyrical Lemonade's rise coming together to be unstoppable. Warner Brothers attempted to sign Pump but had to void his contract because of him being just 16 years old, only to re-sign him 2 album releases later. Summer of 2017, he released his top 3 Billboard single Gucci Gang that went triple platinum in 6 months. In October of that year, he released his debut full-length album, self-titled, that went gold and solidified Pump's existence in this layer of hip-hop. His follow-up album didn't release until 2019 and marked the downflame of Lil Pump, although that went gold as well, behind Lil Pump's still strong fan base and Kanye West featured single I Love It that became Lil Pump's first #1 hit in Canada and peaking at number 6 in the US. But by 2019, in just 3 years since the world knew Pump, the youth grew and got bored of the old antics and expected Pump to grow as well. When they realized there wasn't much depth to the artist, he lost traction. Stunt number 2, no depth to the artist. Which brings me to this. Lil Pump was never made to last in the genre of hip-hop a long time. Not saying he won't parlay his celebrity from time to time into something that keeps his brand alive, but as far as his sound, there's only so long lyrics like My Grandma Sippin' Activist or Yeah Sold Crack in the Halls, ooh, can live on. Unless he really sold crack in the halls, that gives it a relatable feel to some who had to grind their resources to make it. But we don't believe you. You need more people, Lil Pump. Although I understand not even he takes himself that serious. I mean, he did enter and drop out of Harvard, reportedly, allegedly, or whatever. Except he's admitted not being able to read due to dyslexia. Maybe he means Harvard? Anyway, that was my attempt to dig deep into a rapper that has no depth to go. This puts Lil Pump in an interesting bind because where does he go from here? There's only a few options. Since he hasn't even lived long enough before becoming famous to have created life experiences that would give him depth, will he become more introspective? How will his core accept him then? Will he continue to play on the youth's ignorance? I mean, he's only 21 years old. Will he go the Spanish route? What will be his all-important follow-up act? Seems he's quite comfortable falling back into the Kanye West-inspired build of controversy to sell records playbook to stand out as much as possible. Only thing about that is, people care about what Kanye has to say. Like it or not, it starts a conversation. Pump having political views means nothing, not even to his fans, who are too young to even care. Stunt number 3, supporting a loser.
How you guys feeling? MAGA 2020. Don't forget that!
Lil Pump, in his attempt to attach himself to the most controversy, decides the evolution of him and his way to create relatable depth is endorsing the most controversial figure of the generation, Donald Trump, against the way of the masses, and I'm not even mad at that. It was a good try. The thing is, Trump eventually lost his seat in the White House and down went Lil Pump's rap career along with it. That's not to say musically he can't have internet success, especially with his Hispanic ties, he could always enter that lane. But hip-hop will never accept him ever again, and let's face it, it's because he lost. Had Trump won, Lil Pump would have somehow found a fresh new buzz and be able to ride the MAGA train for at least 4 more years with the backing and endorsement of the most powerful man on the planet at the time. And we all know just how much Trump rewards his own. He hasn't released an album since 2019 and looks to have resorted to internet fame and money for the time being. All in all, I'm not mad at Lil Pump. I like Lil Pump's music. I never took it too serious. That's the overall issue that led to his fall off. Fans like his music, then couldn't relate as they got older because it wasn't built to last. But he has created a lane that he can support himself and family for a lifetime. I respect that. The other stuff though, not so much. For these reasons, ooh, yeah, ayy. Lil Pump, ooh, yeah, ayy. Scroth, yeah, ayy. Was Stunted, yeah, ayy. It's your boy JC, ooh, yeah, ooh. Stunted growth, yeah, I'm out.